Hello guys, welcome to FM Scout. You're with me today, DazzaFM, and today we're going to go through an Arsenal team guide to how you can get the best out of your Arsenal team going into the first season of your save. If you don't know much about me, please go and check in the description. You'll find my YouTube channel and my Twitter. Please go and subscribe and follow. Over on my channel, there's loads of Let's Plays, there's Football Manager challenges and Football Manager experiments. So everything to do with Football Manager. So please go and check it out. But today, the Arsenal guide. So let's kick in and see what there is to learn. Okay guys, first of all, let's have a look at the season expectations. What the board want from you this season. You're in a few competitions, including the English Premier League, the English FA Cup, you've got a Community Shield game, the first game of the season, you've got the Carabao Cup, and you're in the Europa League. If for the English Premier League, the board want expectations, minimum level of top 4 through a Champions League space. They want you to reach the final of the FA Cup and reach the final of the Europa League. That is a big task, but they are giving you 80 million to do that as a transfer budget and just over 2.8 million of a wage budget, and you're currently spending 2.4 million a week. So you've got definitely a big enough budget there to reach these goals. For me, these are the ones that I would go for. Go for the minimum expectations, even though they are very, very tough. But if you move over that you're going to do the treble, where you are the winner of the Premier Division, you win the FA Cup, and you win the Europa League, you do get 92.8 million basically there, and just over 3 million of a wage budget. So it is a big step up in money, but I do not think that is achievable even with 92 million in your first season. So for me, I would go for the top 4 of the Premier League, to reach the final of the FA Cup, and to reach the final of the Europa League. As you can see, the English Community Shield and the Carabao Cup are not important to the board this season. So if it was me, I would rest your players, get some youngsters some game time, especially in the Carabao Cup. I'll try and win the Community Shield. It's always good to get off to a winning start and get the squad some extra games in pre-season. But for me, the Carabao Cup, just get the youngsters in, get them some first team experience and try and bring a few of the youth players through. So for me, that is what I would do for the expectations going into my first season. Right guys, as you can see, we have the Arsenal squad here in front of us. Some really good players in this squad, but for me there's 3 standout key players that are going to be vital in your first season as Arsenal. So we're going to go through these 3 players now. Number 1, this is in no particular order, these are just 3 key players. Meza Ursel, a 28-year-old German international, has a staggering 84 caps and 21 goals for his country. He's currently valued at 48 million and for me is one of Arsenal's most important midfielders. You'd play him in the advanced playmaker role, playing just behind Lacazette. Let him create chances. Let him get the ball out to Sanchez. Let him get the ball to Lacazette. He will create chances. The more chances you're going to create, obviously the more chances you're likely of scoring. And this man is key for that. So keep him fit. There's a lot of games this season, so you've got to keep your key players fit. So keep an eye on the injury risk table that you get in this game and make sure that the players aren't being overworked. So make sure Meza Ursel is your advanced playmaker. Let him spread the balls out to the likes of Sanchez, Lacazette, and he will cause problems for opposition teams in this game. Next up, we have the new boy Alexandre Lacazette. A 26-year-old valued at 46.5 million. He is a French international with 11 caps, only scoring the 1 goal so far. But he is an important player to Arsenal and he's still only 26, so there's still room for improvement with him. If you see, he's a lethal finisher with a finishing of 17. He loves dribbling and getting at defences. His dribbling is 15, his first touch is 16. He's very quick, acceleration at 16 and agility at 15. He's good in the air. His heading's 13. He's good at long shots. He's just an out-and-out striker. He's a complete forward. You have about 5 players that can play in the forward role for Arsenal. And we'll get into the tactic later. But for me, you just want to play the one complete forward. And for me, it's this guy. He's miles above Giroud, who I say is second. He's a lot better. Giroud is an off-the-bench sort of guy. If you need to get on that extra striker for set pieces and stuff, he's your guy. But again, keep an eye on that injury table. Make sure Lacazette isn't getting overworked. Keep him fit. And the likes of Sanchez, Ozil, Ramsey, feeding balls to him, he will get you goals. And last but not least on the 3 is Alexis Sanchez. In my opinion, Arsenal's best player. As you can see, his current ability is 4.5 stars. He's valued at 57 million and is 28 years old. Has 91 caps for Chile and scoring 31 times. Right, the problem is with Sanchez, he has a year left on his contract. He is wanted by Man City. The first thing you do when loading up this Arsenal save is get this sorted. Get him a new contract. If you're going to sell him, you've got to sell him for big money because he may want to go. Man City will come in for him, and a lot of the times they do get him. But if you can get him a new contract, offer him big money, keep him here. He's your most important player by far. Have him on the inside forward, supporting the likes of Lacazette, getting in with Ozil, getting in with Ramsey. He's brilliant. He will create chances. He will score goals. He's so quick. Acceleration at 17 to 18. You want your Arsenal team to run at defences and scare defences. And this guy does that perfect. So get his contract sorted. For me, do not sell him. But if you do sell him, you make sure you get a lot of money. Because he's going to be so hard to replace. Maybe he's even irreplaceable in the first season for Arsenal. So my personal view, get his contract done and get him games. So guys, within this Arsenal team, it's no different to any other team going into a new season. There is a couple of places that you would like to improve and a few players that you could move on to add to your transfer budget. There's two positions for me that Arsenal really do need to improve on going into this first season. And one of them is the left back position. You have two players that can currently play there, and that's Nacho Monreal and Sean Klasniak. For me, Nacho Monreal should be sold on. He isn't good enough. He's 31 years old now. There's better options out there. Klasniak is my first option. So this guy would probably be on the bench and not be getting that much football. So he's valued at 16 million. That's going to go down rapidly soon with his age. So for me, I would move him on as quickly as possible. And as we just said, sure, Klasniak would be my first choice left back. He's 24 years old. He's a good young player. He's still got time he can improve. But I'll get someone else. If you're going to sell Monreal, get another young left back. Or even like a 27-year-old and have Klasniak as the rotation guy that comes in when needed. He can play your cup games. You know, if you've got a decent Europa group stage fixtures, then you could get Klasniak in for them. But for the Premier League, I do think another left back is definitely needed. Someone who's just a bit more stronger, who's got good positioning on and off the ball, and maybe a bit of a leader at the back as well. Position number 2, guys, is the goalkeeper. Cech, yes, he's a brilliant goalkeeper, but at the age of 35 now, he's past his best. His best years are definitely behind him, and you're going to see him slowly getting worse and worse and making more mistakes. So for me, another good young goalkeeper. It will be costly, but that's why you've got that big budget to improve, because this is a key position. You need a good goalkeeper, especially for this season. I would have someone young, exciting, and one that gets the fans happy about, because Cech is going to be hard to replace. So make sure you pick the right man for this. So at Arsenal, I've noticed that there's a couple of players that are surplus to requirements for the first team, and a couple of players in the under-23s that you could move on, add to that transfer budget. I know you've got a big budget already, but more money, the better players that you're going to be able to sign. And also getting them off the wage budget is probably more important than that. So the player number 1, I've got a couple here, and the first one is Mohammed El Nino. He is valued at 25 million. He's already listed as soon as you load up the game, so that tells you already that he's just not good enough for this team. He's not going to beat the likes of Ozil. Ramsey's better than him. He's just not going to play. So for me, try and get as close to 25 million as you can. I reckon you would at least get 15 for him, but getting 25 might be pushing it. He's a decent, okay player. He's only 24, and you should have no problem in another Premiership team offering you around about 15 to 18 million for this player. So for me, get him off the wage budget. He's on 40 grand a week, so he's one that can go out the door. Next up, Carl Jenkinson. He's on loan at Birmingham currently, but he's valued at 7.25 million. He's 25 years old. Again, he's not going to play. Even if he has a really good season at Birmingham, you've got better players in that position, and he's having a year in the Championship. He's not going to do him any good coming in what you hope to be a Champions League side next season. So try and get, again, you can get at least 4 or 5 million for this guy. on loan, so it might take you next season to get rid of him, but he's in the under-23, so don't forget that you have him, because as he gets older, his price will come down, and you want to try and get the most as you possibly can early on in the game. Another one for me, guys, is Theo Walcott. Yes, he's played for Arsenal a long time, but if you look at his stats, it doesn't give you the 33 million value that, and his ability is 3-star, but 33 million is just so overpriced for me. For me, I would start on the attacking right midfield, Iwobi. He's a better, younger option. For me, he's a better player on this game. And I think Walcott, his Arsenal days are long behind him in real life and on this game. So if you can get anywhere near the 33 million mark, you should have no problem selling him. Like I say, there'll be a good few teams that come in for him. Just try and get as much as you can for him. But for me, definitely worth moving on. If you get rid of these 3 players, you're looking to add over 20 million, maybe even nearly 30 million to that transfer budget, and you can build a really dominating squad in this first season. So guys, Arsenal have always been one that have brought through youth players, that have gave youth chance. Wenger has definitely done that at Arsenal. He's brought through some good young players. He's not scared to put them in the first team, and you shouldn't be either with this team. I'm going to notice here 3 key players that I think are a good hot prospect for Arsenal. 2 of them are already in your first team squad, and 1 of them is in the under-23s. So first of all, let's check out the first team ones, and number 1 is Alex Iwobi. He is potential ability of 4-star. He's already current ability at 3-star. Like I said, I would play him on the right of midfield, attacking right midfielder instead of Theo Walcott. But this is one thing, I didn't touch on this earlier. The attacking midfield right position, that could be improved, to be fair. You can get a player there. If you didn't want Iwobi, you think he's not ready, you could just bring him in to a few key games this season, work him in slowly, then definitely improve on that attacking midfield right position. But get rid of Walcott, like we said, get a new guy in, and have Iwobi as his backup. Play him in all the cup competitions, get him a few Premier League games if you can, and just work him in gently. And he is a great young prospect. I've used him on this game already. Once I've played in a save, he's became one of the best attacking midfielders in the Premier League. So he's got the potential to do it. So make sure you just don't leave him out. Don't leave him on the bench so he gets unhappy. Keep him involved and bring him through the ranks slowly. Next up is the young English centre-back, age 21, Rob Holding. He's valued at 13.75 million. He's a backup player at the moment, only at 2.5-star, but potential to 4-star. With Rob, I would maybe loan him out to a Premiership side. Someone like Huddersfield and that would definitely be interested in loaning him out. It's a hard one because you could use him for backup, but you won't get the games that I think he would need to turn into that potential 4-star ability. So for me, I would loan him out to a Premier League side or another top tier team. I wouldn't let him play in the Championship. I think he's definitely a lot better than that. So for me, loan him out. Someone like Huddersfield, Brighton, even like the Leicester and that might be after him. He would definitely do a good job there, and he would learn well. And when he comes back next season, he should have improved more, and he should be in a better position to challenge for your first team. But again, do not forget him. Don't just leave him in your under-23s, to rot. Remember that you've got him. Use him wisely. He could start, and he could, like Iwobi, you could bring him through slowly this season. But I'm not one who likes to mess about with their defence. So he's the second guy, guys, and he's another hot prospect for Arsenal. Okay, guys, the third one, the guy that's in the under-23 squad is Rhys Nelson. He's only 17 years old. He is English. He's only valued at $1 million, but he has the potential ability of 5-star. He is by far Arsenal's wonder kid. Please loan him out to a Championship team. But when I find people have said, oh yeah, I've loaned him out, but he's not got any better. He needs to be playing games for whoever he gets loaned out to. He's only 17. So a Championship team, maybe even League One. But if you can get him to that Championship team and get in games, he improves so much on this game. And in 2 to 3 years, he'll be ready for the first team. And he'll be challenging the likes of Sanchez and that. With that 5-star potential, it just shows you how good he can be. So please loan him out. Don't let him play for the under-23s. He needs to be playing first team football or involved in the first team squad of some respects with someone. So get him loaned out. Keep an eye on him. Make sure that they're not just like leaving him on the bench or leaving him out of the squad. He needs to be playing games as early as possible. The Arsenal tactic screen. Very, very important, of course, in any save, any tactic screen for any team. So this is how I would line up with the Arsenal team. Is a 4-2-3-1. Of course, the players in here are not all going to start. You are going to bring new players in like we've talked about. So for in goal, with what you have to start with, Cech is of course your best option. But again, you want to swap him for a younger, upcoming, world-class keeper. Same as the left back. Klasniak is very good for who you have right now. He's better than Monreal. But again, there's definitely room for improvement there, and you could easily improve on that position. You have Koscielny and Mustafi as your two centre-backs, and Bellerin as your right-back. Bellerin, I would put a bit more attacking, as he's just so quick. He can get up and down a lot easier than Klasniak can. He's got good agility, good pace, and good with the ball. So Bellerin, you could have a bit more of a free role and license to get forward when you're attacking. I would have Xhaka and Ramsey as your two centre midfielders. I would leave Xhaka just a bit deeper as the playmaker and let Ramsey push on. On the inside forward left, you have Sanchez, easily your best player. He will score goals, he will assist. He is so important for you this season. The same with Meza Ursel going through that centre, sitting just behind Lacazette. He is obviously best as an advanced playmaker. He will have tons and tons of assists this season, and he will even pop up with goals. On the inside forward right, supporting again Iwobi. Again, you can, like we talked about, improve on this position. For me, I personally would add a different attacking midfielder after you get rid of Walcott and bring Iwobi through slowly. And up front, the goal scoring machine Lacazette. Give him chances, he will score. Make sure at corners he is a nuisance. You're aiming for his head. He's very good at it with his head and in the air as well. For the team instructions, guys, I would have the mentality as control, the team shape flexible, and I'd have retain possession on, play out of defence, run at defence, work ball into box, get stuck in, be more expressive, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. So this tactic, you're looking for short, snappy, quick passing, getting balls into Lacazette. You know, not just hoofing it forward, keeping the ball, having more possession like Arsenal love to do than the opposition. So that's what you're looking to get out of this tactic. So this is definitely how I'd line up with the Arsenal team going in your first season. And that brings the end to my Arsenal team guide. Make sure you're following the FM Scout YouTube as well as my own YouTube channel. Great content on both channels, coming thick and fast. So that's all from me today, guys. Until next time, I'll see you again.